forecast. In Mississippi, Governor Tate Reeves has declared a state of emergency after torrential rains are causing the Pearl River to overflow its banks, causing massive flooding. In Mississippi's capital city, Jackson, Mayor Chokwe Lumumba on Sunday urged residents in flood zones to pack enough supplies to last for
Greetings and good vibes, everyone. You are tuning in to the Leon Block. I'm your guy, John Tell.
Get out as soon as possible.
Today,
y'all are hearing
nearly 36
some audio from Democracy Now! Right now.
Considered a flood stage. The Justice Department has
show y'all what's going on.
Version of the affidavit the FBI used to get a search warrant for.
And you're joined by our co-host Megan. Welcome to the show, Megan. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. As always, it's a pleasure.
U.S. intelligence sources and methods. It also revealed the National Archives had recovered 184 classified documents at Mar-a-Lago in January. 25 of those documents were marked top secret. Some included information intercepted under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. The affidavit went on to state, quote, there is also probable cause to believe that evidence of obstruction will be found, unquote. In related news, a federal judge in Florida who was appointed by Trump has indicated she will agree to his request to authorize a special master to review the documents seized by the FBI. In Ukraine, Russian and Ukrainian forces continue to trade heavy fire around the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. At the United Nations, a month-long meeting to review the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty has ended in failure after Russia objected to a joint statement from 151 nations because it included a paragraph about its occupation of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine. In Libya, at least 32 people died and 159 people were wounded Saturday as rival militias fought in Tripoli. It was the heaviest fighting seen in Libya's capital in 2 years. The dead included at least 17 civilians. Libya has been in a state of crisis for over a decade after NATO helped rebels topple the government of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. Since February, Libya has had two prime ministers competing for power. Saturday's fighting was between militias with ties to each of the men. The Environmental Protection Agency has moved to reclassify two commonly used chemicals as hazardous substances after a growing body of scientific research linked them to cancer and other health problems. On Friday, the EPA said its move to reclassify PFAS under the federal Superfund law could accelerate cleanup efforts at hundreds of toxic sites across the United States. PFAS are often called forever chemicals because they can take centuries to break down in the environment. They're used in everything from food packaging and cookware to cosmetics, fabrics, and firefighting foam. In humans, PFAS have been linked to a host of dangerous health effects, including liver damage, decreased fertility, asthma, thyroid disease, low infant birth weight, and cancer. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has warned efforts to control inflation will bring pain to many households. Powell spoke in Jackson Hole, Wyoming on Friday.
Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below-trend growth. Moreover, there will very likely be some softening of labor market conditions. While higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation, they will also bring some pain to households and businesses. These are the unfortunate costs of reducing inflation. But a failure to restore price stability would mean far greater pain.
Progressives, including Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren and former Labor Secretary Robert Reich, have warned Powell's moves will lead the United States into a recession. Reich said, quote, the pain is already being felt across the land. Most Americans aren't getting inflation-adjusted wage increases, which means they're becoming poorer. In New Mexico, a 23-year-old asylum seeker from Brazil has died by suicide while in custody of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Kesley Vile was being indefinitely detained at the troubled Torrance Detention Center as he awaited his deportation to Brazil. The American Civil Liberties Union said his death was the, quote, result of abhorrent conditions and treatment by ICE and Torrance staff. Torrance is managed by the private prison corporation CoreCivic. Last year, it failed its annual government inspection due to chronic understaffing and unsanitary and unsafe conditions. In Ethiopia, at least 7 people were killed Friday, including several children, when government forces attacked a kindergarten in the northern Tigray region. The attack in Tigray's regional capital, Mekelle, came as a 5-month truce between Ethiopia's military and separatist rebels unraveled, threatening to worsen a humanitarian crisis that's already among the worst in the world. The UN says the fighting has left about half of Tigray's 6 million residents on the brink of famine. Mexico's Truth Commission, investigating the 2014 disappearance of 43 students from Ayotzinapa, reported Friday 6 of them were kept alive in a warehouse for days before they were turned over to a local army commander who ordered their execution. Last week, the Truth Commission...
All right, Amy. It's time to go. I want to talk about a couple of things that I'm getting news of here. This is Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Department. So this is out of Louisiana. New video release shows the parish sheriff's deputies grabbing a 12-year-old off his dirt bike that falls to break the 12-year-old's leg. Then a deputy runs over to repeatedly stomp on the child while he's on the ground with a motorcycle on top of him. This was from February, y'all. Look at this.
What the heck? Wow.
Yep. 12-year-old boy. 12-year-old boy.
What the hell are you
talking on him for? All kinfolk ain't skinfolk. For all skinfolk ain't kinfolk, for real.
Oh my
God. Out of here.
Jesus. That's the only thing that can help these people, for real.
For real.
That is insane.
So we will be posting that in the comments as well.
Wow.
Let me post this.
You said he's 12 years old?
12-year-old boy, yeah.
Wow. My daughter's there. Wow. Lord bless.
Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office.
Wow. We got to know better to do better. Put that, that's what the Parish Sheriff's Office.
Yep, on it. It is in the
comments. I'm going
to
write that down.
Via YouTube. So if you want to get the link, go to YouTube and get it, y'all.
I think I'm restricted right now, but I definitely... Twitter. I stay restricted these days. And that's in Louisiana, you said?
Yeah. I just realized, I have not shared the stream. So let me go ahead and share the stream. If you want to get everyone acquainted with another story, thank you for that. Yes. The one that you just told me about in the chat.
Yes. Okay. So today, there was the DA from Lebanon County came forward stating that there would be no charges made on the 4th person that a Pennsylvania State police officer has shot and killed now. Pennsylvania State Police Officer Jay Splain has now killed 4 different individuals. And he's an Officer of the Year. And
what?
Yes.
So the FOP got to be back at his ass.
I'm telling you, preach, because definitely something going on there. They are, they actually make you pay $120 to obtain their body worn camera. That should be free for us to, protect ourselves.
Classism. We already know what this is.
Oh, yeah. And you only have 90 days to request it. So if you don't know what you're doing within 90 days of your incident, you're screwed. It's sickening. And
the odds are stacked against us, but we got this.
We definitely do. And it's, it's got to come out. The truth shall set you free. and it's coming out everywhere else. So we're hoping that Pennsylvania will follow suit. I was just watching a documentary earlier because me and you were always talking about the police gangs. Do they exist? Do they not exist?
Yes.
So YouTube posted this video a couple weeks ago talking about the police gangs in Los Angeles and how the sheriff down there,
I saw that too. Yeah.
Yes. So the sheriff down there totally is a cover. He's blasphemy.
Oh, he's a fucking dick.
Yeah, no, he definitely is.
You can look at him and tell he's lying.
Yeah, no, for sure. He said that a reporter was she got information causing it to look into a prison death. She posted her photo in a press conference. He's the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life. Prison gangs do exist, guys. Police officer gangs do exist. Watch for the same tattoos within your police department. That sounds crazy, but look it up, research it for yourselves, check it out. It is disgusting. It is going on right in front of us.
Now hold on a second. I want to go to this clip real quick. Yes, this is Chicago. Citizens versus Chicago Police Department, Chinatown near Lumber and Kermack. Police respond to report of street and drag racing. A recent Oregon ordinance fined street racers between $5,000 and $10,000. The citizens were not standing for this, and they rose up. They rose the fuck up, y'all.
Yo, take over. What? Yo. That's badass.
It is. That's totally badass.
But why they gotta whip it like that? That's unnecessary. It's uncalled for. Regardless, I'm sure it doesn't say you can whip it in a crowd in your SOP manual you get as a police officer.
Right?
Wow.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Are they serious? I thought I was replaying the parade joint with the guy driving through in the car for a second.
Yo. Shout out to Chi-Town, yo. Wow. This is what community looks like.
Stand up, for real.
For real, yes. Stand up, fight back, all of y'all. This is what community looks like. And for all those that want to talk shit and say, oh, you're not supposed to do this to the police kill us every motherfucking day. Do you think they care about us? They are nothing but slave catchers.
We demand change.
For real. We ain't asking for nothing. We're demanding. There's a difference.
Right.
Now let's go to the next clip real quick. We're going to go ahead and re-air this. This is a clip from yesterday. If you tuned into the episode yesterday, if you have not, go check it out for further context. But there was a young man in Akron. They were just hanging out after a protest peacefully. They were on public property, and it was they were in a parking lot. They started chasing a man, tased him. He fell to the ground. And as they took him into custody, because he ran, they took him somewhere onto some property somewhere and began to beat him. And go ahead, Meg.
It's just this is so normalized anymore. This is it. Just I get it's so disheartening. It's so disgusting. We're supposed to watch out for one another and be there in times of need, in times of crisis, not in times of this is classic bullying. This was ridiculous. Those police officers was abusing their power, and I can't. I just get to the point with these cases that I cannot deal. It's too much. They
kicked him in the chin, y'all.
He had to get stitches. He was in the hospital after this. Come on, y'all.
Still charged him with those. What is it? Disorderly conduct. They charged him with.
Right. They cannot keep doing this. And I would run too. I'd be scared as shit. I don't want to be shot. And just like we said earlier, a taser did not do this. A taser leaves prong marks to the body. I've seen it doing autopsies. They do not leave gashes in your skin
They
up
tased
on
him
your
from the
head
back.
where you need stitches and where you
Right.
need to go to the hospital. Like,
Right.
this is disgusting. Akron, do better. Like, share this. Akron, Ohio. We need justice for this situation, along with Jalen Walker. You cannot shoot somebody 60 times in the back while they're running. Like,
For real. Akron still needs boots on the ground.
yes.
Period. They still need
Yeah.
boots on the ground.
100%. Like, no justice, no peace, for real.
No justice, no streets. That's right. Let's go ahead and share this video real quick. It's about 14 minutes. And this is a wonderful activist that is in Akron or was in Akron. I'm not sure, but she's been holding shit down and spreading the truth. So let's tune in.
Jalen, like, what's going on? I just want to, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're live here in Akron, Ohio, and I'm pretty sure you guys know that there's been protests going on for Jalen Walker for these past few weeks, but y'all really don't know the backstory of what's going on when it comes to frontliners and what they're actually tracing their trials and tribulations. And I'm actually here with a comrade who was arrested last night by Akron Police Department. But for the time that from the time they were arrested to the time that they got here today, there's a little bit of discrepancies. And I wanted to interview them and talk about what's happening in real time. But I also wanted you guys to be aware and around the process, because I think you guys think that this fight is over. I think you guys think that it's like a one and done, and like you done got pepper sprayed. So like, oh my God, like no, people really go through some shit. Like, and our comment right here, which is as crazy as it seems, you never know when it can be you. You know what I'm saying? And that's really why I want to show up for these communities, but I also want you guys to understand that this is not a joke. These protesters are literally putting their life on the line. So the least that you guys can do is show up and show out. And if you can't, support those who can. I'm definitely, when I post this live, I'm gonna can we have a cash app or not? I'm gonna put up his cash app because I need you guys to donate and send him some love and some just whatever positivity. But Black mental health matters. That's all I know. And we've seen what happened with our king in Louisville, Kentucky. I want to make sure that we are here for everybody. So stay dangerous, you guys, and remember that the revolution will not be televised, but it will be broadcasted to you by a young God.
That's right. That's right.
100%.
Not gonna put a close up on the live of his injuries because that's just, y'all need to see the group. That I just wanted you guys to know that in real life this is happening and that you need to stand up and fight back. But Lord have mercy about that shit if you want to talk that shit, because
Right.
we know your ass.
Like, and you can tell he is hurt. Like, he is not, you can tell.
I know. And it's crazy that your mom wouldn't know your ass would be like a chatterbox.
Oh yeah, yo. I know.
Where's your shirt? Why is it in the car? Is it in Grant's car?
I just like the fact that they did this, yo. Like,
They're sending a sign is what they're trying to do. But this is when, everybody across the nation needs to come together with Akron and stand united. But they're going to continue to do whatever it takes to divide us.
right. So we just shared the civil rights filing complaint. If you want to check that out.
This is classic, like, abuse of power. There is, granted, we are making complaints to the government, but it's always worth a shot. The civil rights department is doing their thing out here these days. Like, I think this is class A example. Make these people do their jobs and look into this police department. And I hope in Jalen Walker, same situation, like, turn them in. As much as we turn them in, as much as noise can be made, they'll look into things.
Yo, shout out to Dave Moon TV. Thank you for tuning in, brother.
Now, a lot of people.
So we're going to shut up for a minute because she's interviewing him. And we'll provide context in a minute.
shot me in my spine. That's what it was. And like, I was trying to, turn around. I turned around and stopped. My hands up. So as I'm trying to turn around, that's when he shot me. And the problem got stuck in my, which I put problems in my back and my spine. And when I fell on my side. And that's what,
I don't know if y'all can hear, but he was talking about how they shot him in the back, like in his spine, like the prong went into his spine. Mind you, he was handcuffed.
My question is, was there a clear threat? Right. Was there a clear threat? And
No,
I don't think so.
He was handcuffed by that. By the time they beat him, he was handcuffed. So how was he a threat? They pulled over and beat him somewhere.
So exactly. So that's against their procedures and protocols of what they have on paper.
Yep. But they said it was from the tasers.
No, that's not possible. It's not gonna leave burnt. Like, that's clearly road rash, just like Frank said earlier. You can tell.
Yep.
Like, he was dragged. And his hands was like he was dragged on his butt and his hands were on the ground, like handcuffed behind him. Is how it looks.
Howdy, fam. Thank you for tuning in.
Did they ever tell you why you were
Share this stream, everybody.
How does this make you feel from the movement? Because I know you're one of the people who have been protesting for Jalen Walker since day one. What does this do for you in the movement?
If anybody knows his Cash App, we should share his Cash App as well.
We do. We shared it last night.
Okay, bet.
Slim CEO.
Because you have children, don't you?
Yeah. Son and daughter. They left, I'm trying to make sure the down have to go through that like this, Jalen Walker, everybody else. You just really just are, trying to make a stand. Not just black people in jail. It's not just black people. It's some white people, Chinese people, but we fight for everything. It's not just one minority.
I hope you all can hear, but he is saying how this basically means a lot to him, and he's out here fighting for everyone's rights, not just Black lives. He's here for everybody. He's here for humanity in general. This dude seems like a really good dude, the last person that deserved this to happen to,
Stop letting these cops do what they do to us. Somebody got to put their foot down. Nobody else doing it. So we stepped up. That's what we're trying to do.
Do you guys feel like you are targeted?
We all know it. Like I said, like, you see the video, you said, you heard him say, we have 13. Hey, 13, I'm number 13. They're going to leave everybody alone.
No, I ain't coming in. That's my favorite grandson.
It's 5. We already got arrested. And, it's a couple of people that got numbers on their back, but, they still haven't caught.
Do you know why they're grouping you guys? Why there's so many people? Because 13 is a big number. So they're getting this number from where?
So what I'm going to go to now is a something that Comrade Ohio posted from the news, one of the local news stations there. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to bring it up.
New body cam.
Language that they use.
Akron Police Captain David Laughlin says, depending on circumstances, officers are permitted to mute cameras under procedure.
One of them is when you don't have contact with the citizen any longer.
Police expert.
New body camera footage from June 27th when police shot and killed Jalen Walker. Walker was unarmed when he ran from his car after a police chase. Police said officers heard a shot at the beginning of the chase. Associate Professor Kalfani Toure is a former police officer and expert at Mount St. Mary's in Maryland.
When they checked the body and realized that there was no firearm, then at that point, they were aware that there may be some civil and criminal liability.
We are not showing you when Walker is on the ground where he is seen raising an arm over his body. Officers give medical treatment.
Hey, you need a furniture?
Shortly after, you hear the phrase, "Go blue," and audio is muted.
Everybody go blue. Hold on.
Wow.
It means that at this critical moment, I need
Of course.
undivided attention, because whatever we say or do can jeopardize the officers involved. The second thing it means
Exactly.
means to cut off surveillance equipment.
But Torre questions the intentions.
It's a moment where the officers prevaricate, they square up their stories or their justifications, or is this the moment where
Protecting their liabilities.
more explicitly, what is the protocol? Well, we don't know that. And what it appears to mean is that we are seeing evidence of a cover-up.
Can you explain what "Go Blue" means?
It's not any sort of a department, procedural or, chief's order type of language. And each shift might have some type of language that they use.
Akron Police Captain David Laughlin says, depending on circumstances, officers are permitted to mute cameras under procedure.
One of them is when you don't have contact with the citizen any longer.
Okay, so we are allowed as a public, though, to request this documentation, and we don't have to believe his word for it, guys. Just so you're aware, if you do right to know request the SOP manual. That is all their written procedures, protocols that they are required to do as an officer. Catch them in the lie. Once you catch them, you got a whole corruption case. Run with it.
Yo, Meg. I'm sorry. But
crazy.
Yeah, I know. This is crazy. That's why I gotta smoke some weed, because it's real.
Like, it be making me so mad. Like,
I know.
Code Blue. First thing I thought was, is it a motherfucking gang? Excuse my language, everybody, but this got me mad.
I'm curious too. Does anyone know if Tango 22 it's a police gang, right?
Where's our police officer? I'm about to add him to this call real quick, because I need to know now. Because the police officer that used to be a police officer that I'm friends with. Remember, I told you. Hold on, I'm about to add him. Because he told me that in Reading that he knows that there was and now this is Reading, Pennsylvania, so we're in Lancaster area. Reading, there was actually cops that he knew that was saying, oh, they killed some, like they were super excited about how many people they killed. And I was like, wow. I
do remember that now. But I mean, we saw this with Breonna Taylor, one of her killers, just bragging the other day about joking around about how he was one of the people that killed her.
That is so sickening. Like, and this is America.
Really getting out of pocket now, yeah. They're really getting out of pocket now.
100% blatantly disrespectful. And the only way that it's going to change, guys, is if we, come together across all borders, across all diversity, and unite and make a wave.
while I was scrolling here and I jumped on Dante Perez Jones, I just want to bring some awareness to Dante Perez Jones, who was essentially lynched
Mysteriously.
on
Right.
Juneteenth, mysteriously lynched on Juneteenth weekend, mysteriously again this year. And
Behind the police station in the town.
Behind a police station in an area that he's never been to, has no association with. And they closed the case. They called the mother, told her, we got your kid, come pick him up, basically, and then closed the case. And there's not much right, Chaz. Ain't no mysteriously.
Right. There is. Right. Exactly.
So, there's not much information surrounding this case. There aren't many people talking about it. It did get some attention, like on the Shade Room and stuff like that. But largely, it's went under. And so this case still needs some
notoriety for sure.
For real.
Yeah. Black people ain't safe in Akron. That is for sure.
They ain't safe in America. They ain't safe. Like we ain't we ain't safe nowhere right now.
Anywhere, right?
But safe.
You can't garden while black. Did you see that article I sent you about the pastor in Alabama or down south, and he was watering his neighbor's garden, and the police came and arrested him?
I did see that. I gotta find the clip. Did you send that to me?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta find that and post that, because find that and share it. Send it to me.
Because, that blew my mind too.
Yeah, no. So there was a black man who was in, his neighbors were out of town for vacation, and they asked him to water their garden. He was out watering their garden. Another neighbor saw him watering their garden. It's another neighbor. So this man, yet you call the cops on him because he's watering his neighbor's garden.
Somebody else's garden, right?
Even if it was some
humanity act, like what the hell is this?
Even if it was some random black man watering a garden,
just be thankful.
Like, seriously.
Yo, you can't even be nice anymore.
No, you can't.
Like that.
You can't. Hold on a second. So Chaz said liberals want us to prepare for an election, and our people are being murdered every day. Talk about it. Dave Moon TV says up here, the liberals say they care about human rights, while Kwan Lee was taken by Vancouver police August 22nd. Matthew Nolder says domestic terrorism, violent criminal acts committed by individuals and or groups to further ideological goals stemming from domestic influences such as those of a political, religious, social, racial, or environmental nature. Speaking of the police, aka slave catchers. Lana says in Milwaukee in the 90s, cops had a club. They got a matching tattoo. When they killed a black person, son had a friend who was MPD. And so this was in that that documentary that you and I were talking about. Every time they killed someone, they got a new like notch on their tattoo or some shit like that.
Right.
This was
or a new bullet. LA.
Yeah, or a new bullet on their on their gun.
Yep.
Yeah. This is
insane.
This is America. This is 2022 in our world,
We have to be observant of what's going on.
Right. When you find that this is it right here. Bet. Okay. Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and share this article, share this John real quick so y'all can see. Again, this is a black man gardening while black, y'all.
Doing a good deed.
Seriously. And it irks my soul. Just like the bird watcher situation. Does anyone remember that? Was it Central Park?
Oh shoot, no.
His neighbor's garden while they were out of town. TJ Holmes is with us now. And what Pastor Michael Jennings is saying after the ordeal. Good morning to you.
All right, straight. Driving while black, walking while black, golfing while black, swimming while black, napping while black, staying in an Airbnb while black, sitting in a Starbucks while black, bird watching while black. It's become a part of our vernacular here. And look, you and I talk about plenty of these stories here. Add to this now, watering your neighbor's plants while black. That's what this pastor was doing, and police were called on him. And now we have this police body cam video that shows how he goes from literally a water hose to handcuffs in just a couple of minutes.
I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor until I don't want to hear. You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
Lock me up.
Released
That's
police
right.
Body camera video shows the arrest of an Alabama pastor who was watering his neighbor's plants.
What's the causation?
This past spring, Pastor Michael Jennings was doing a favor.
You know what, though? Let me pause this right here. It's sad that we have to exploit the fact that he's a pastor to show that he's a good person just to not criminalize him. I don't care if he was a pastor. What if he was a drug dealer? What if he had
mental health? Person.
He's just as much of a good citizen, a human being as this man is. And I'm not knocking this man. But it's just, I hate that we have to talk about the fact that someone has to be of good faith just to point out the fact that they didn't deserve to be arrested.
Right.
I'm sick of it.
Yep, exactly.
While they were out of town, but police arrived and started questioning him.
This vehicle is not supposed to be here, and you're not supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Pastor Jennings. I live across the street.
You're Pastor Jennings?
Yes, I'm looking out for their house while they gone.
Okay.
Watering their flower.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Now, do you have like ID?
No, man, I'm not gonna give you no ID.
I don't need to give you my ID.
Right, exactly. What is the charge committed, officer?
That's what we got to figure out.
I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor until I don't want to hear. You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
We're
I
just
would be frustrated too.
Look, man, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. Man. Just calm down.
No.
Stop.
Do what you got to do. Don't lock me up. I told you I'm a pastor.
Okay, look, man.
Who called y'all?
You have to identify yourself.
All I did said, hey, man.
You don't have to identify yourself.
Nope, you don't.
Unless you're charged with a crime.
A woman soon arrives on scene, identifies herself as a neighbor, and vouches for Pastor Jennings.
First of all, how do we know she's a neighbor? Who is she? Did they identify her? That's what I'd like to know. Let's find out.
White privilege 101.
And he would be watering their flowers. This is probably my fault.
She says she is the one who made the initial call to police.
So you called because the car was because you thought you saw someone beside him.
Right. I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, I got to keep their flowers watered. I got to keep their flowers watered while they're down. You okay?
Jennings spoke to GMA about the ordeal.
It was kind of surreal at that moment because I'm wondering, why is this happening? I was thinking if I did something wrong or resisted, that I could have been shot. So I was trying to cooperate, even though I didn't understand what was going on.
See, this is not okay. This is not okay that we have to be subordinate. Yes, massa. And the white woman, her word is taken over mine. It's not okay.
That's like a slave catcher. No,
exactly.
That's slave catching.
Exactly. Her ID was not asked for. Her word was taken.
Right.
Why? Because of the color of her skin. She could have been a crook. She could have been there to rob the house.
100%. And on the
this is
exactly.
This is crazy.
And the crazy part about it is, for cops, they have to have the one thing that lawyers ask is, what is the causation for justification? What is the cause for their action? And there is none. He wasn't bothering anybody. He was watering the flowers.
Literally watering while black. It wasn't like he was like snooping in, trying to break into what he was watering the freaking.
I was actually
right.
Angry. I knew to comply.
The 56-year-old maintains this was a case of racial profiling.
Yep.
You racial profiling?
We're not racial profiling. No, sir. No, sir. We're not about that.
I told you I was here with one of the flowers.
How do I know that's the truth?
I had the water hose in my hand.
Throughout the video, police can be heard suggesting that the situation might have been different if Jennings had provided identification.
It doesn't matter if pastor or if he's a pastor or not.
But did the white woman provide identification?
Right.
She did not. Why are you asking for my identification, but you're not asking for hers?
For hers.
Why are you deeming me suspicious, but not deeming her suspicious? I was literally watering the lawn when you pulled up on me. Isn't that justification enough? Like, come on.
100%. I just sent you another one too.
Alabama law allows police to ask someone for identification in a public place if they reasonably suspect that person of committing a crime.
To be shackled and to have your freedom taken away from you, it's something else. It's dehumanizing, And I thought, you know, why would they be
exactly,
doing
Chaz?
something that it gives you nightmares. It gives you nightmares.
Jennings maintains there was no crime, given he was on private property with permission.
Talk about it.
They took her word as the gospel truth. But the pastor who preached the gospel, they didn't take his word at all.
Exactly. Preach.
One count of obstruction of government operation. That charge was later dropped. For now,
Obstruction of government operation. Are they freaking serious?
My faith has helped me a lot because I knew that God would work the situation out. You have to forgive people because, you know, you can't judge people and hold things against people.
God love him.
Does say plans to file a lawsuit. Police department said
as he should file a lawsuit.
Exactly.
And Dave Moon TV, you are so right. The white woman, the one who called the police to be charged for filing a false report. They did not identify
100%.
her. They don't know who this woman was, and they just let her go off free willy-nilly. This is
was she just trying to start trouble? Right.
I'm fuming. This just really irked my soul for a second. I do have two more things really quick that we want to share with y'all before we hop off of here, because we're at 41 minutes. Y'all already know how we do. We like to keep it really short and sweet and do an hour. And I really appreciate y'all sticking with us tonight. Make sure that you are sharing this stream. Make sure that you are following. We really appreciate all the engagement. You can also always hit us up at theleonblock@gmail.com if you have any kind of information you want to share, any stories you want to bring to our attention. We always love to hear from you. This one.
Can I have your sergeant? I've asked for your supervisor already.
We begin tonight with a story you'll see only a little 10 of an uncomfortable confrontation with police outside of Jackson West. That man says he was trying to get his pregnant wife checked out following an accident.
But he says a Miami-Dade police officer purposely delayed him from getting into the ER. Local 10's Christian De La Rosa is live with the exclusive. Christian.
This mother-to-be was worried she could have a miscarriage. Instead, as we see in this video, this officer decided to turn this into a traffic stop.
Oh, God.
Is that why you pulled me over? Because I blew my horn because you were in the way and I was going to the emergency room?
My wife was in a car accident the day prior.
Kevin Enciso is driving his wife, Sabrina, who is pregnant, to Jackson West Medical Center to get checked out. But they were forced to stop just a couple 100 feet away from the emergency room.
I was confused with what was going on, why we had to wait.
Surveillance video shows them stopped behind a Miami-Dade police unit when another police car pulls up to the vehicle.
He honked once, just to pick up, hey, I'm here, just so you know. And one of the officers just put their hand up and waved, or just said, wait. So we waited.
He honked his horn a second time. The officer to his left pulls away. And as the Encisos try to finally make their way, they are pulled over.
And just continuing to ask questions, and they were almost the same questions, just in a different manner.
And he turned off the car. He turned
Right.
off the car. It was 100-degree weather.
Windows down in the sun.
And she's expecting.
You gotta be kidding me.
They explained their situation to the officer, who then proceeded to call fire rescue. Again,
What are they going to do? They're right in front of the hospital.
And he's like, okay, well, you're having an emergency, so I'm going to call rescue. And
What
we
the
said in
fuck?
video, you know,
Yeah,
don't
dude,
need rescue.
it's sickening.
At the emergency room.
Right.
I don't need it. And he proceeded to call him anyway.
Sabrina Enciso says it wasn't until after first responders
Oh, my
took
goodness.
her blood pressure, they were finally allowed to go on their way.
Okay, so high blood pressure in pregnancy can be caused by eclampsia, which could potentially kill.
Preeclampsia. Exactly.
It could potentially kill the mother and the child.
Back on July 28th, fortunately, this mother-to-be is okay. But they decided to speak to Local 10 News exclusively because they want accountability. A spokesperson for the police department tells us they're aware of the video, and they've even launched an internal affairs investigation. And we'll let you know what happens.
Internal affairs is the police investigating the police.
Yo, that's
sickening.
Now do
Like,
y'all
if
see, like, Go ahead,
Could you
man.
imagine? So, as a mother, I had eclampsia, which they didn't catch my pre-eclampsia while before I had my baby.
Got
But
you.
so your blood pressure skyrockets. Like mine got so high that I had a seizure and a subchronic hemorrhage in my brain. So like it's very serious. And the fact that they made her sit there, and I guarantee you, as a pregnant woman, her blood pressure was probably 200, or like they didn't worry about what they caused that baby, to happen to the baby if anything happened, or to her. Like, so such careless behavior. Get it together.
For real. All right, I got two more for y'all really quick. I'm going to share them, and then y'all can, in the comments, speak on them and keep this conversation going, all right? So this first one here is more than a dozen Torrance, California officers have been exchanging violent and racist text messages for years, and almost all the officers still remain employed by the police department. Why are people like this entrusted to protect and serve? These biased officers must be fired.
Right.
This is
They
via
don't need
the LA.
rewrite.
This is via the LA Times. We will, Chaz, I think, shared the post via our Facebook page in the comments. If you are watching via Facebook, you can check out the link there. I'm going to put it in the comments as well, so the viewers watching from YouTube can check it out as well.
Bro, that's the same LA Times is who they went after that reporter, Chavez, or the sheriff from Los Angeles County.
Mm-hmm.
He blasted the reporter from Los Angeles Times that brought out that incarceration beat video, or whenever they beat the guy. It's a good news outlet. I like them.
Whew. All right. So what's the other one that we've got? Hold on. I did put this one in the comments. Everyone read this article and then let us know what you think about it. Let's have a discussion about this case as well. I'd love to know what y'all think about it. Then we've also got a Jacksonville woman speaks out after body cam footage shows intense traffic stop. This is a different woman.
Yeah. Yep.
What the fuck?
And she, watch this.
Terrifying traffic stop with a Bradford
And
County
she black.
Sheriff's Office deputy.
Yeah, and she's in the middle of nowhere with her kids.
Resigned following that traffic stop, which was all caught on body camera.
The News for Jax reporter Bree Isom is
Exactly,
joining us now
Dave.
from the newsroom. Bree, I understand you got a chance to talk with this mom tonight.
I did, and she tells me she keeps on replaying the incident in her head over and over. The deputy gave her a ticket, but how that ticket was given to her, she thinks was wrong.
Ebony Washington and her 3 children were on their way home to Jacksonville from Gainesville last Friday around midnight when they saw lights and heard sirens behind them. You can see in this police body cam video from the Bradford County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Jason DeSue had his lights and sirens on after the deputy says Washington was traveling at 75 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour speed zone. But Washington says that she wanted to get to a well-lit area and put her hazard lights on instead of pulling over.
Right. Why want to go to a lit area?
Because it was dark with my kids. I felt uncomfortable. Like I didn't want to be able to not have anyone else around.
Yep.
Hold the vehicle, put you into the ground. Shortly after this was set, you see in the body camera video that the deputy pulled into a gas station. He gets out of his vehicle and you see him point his gun at Washington's vehicle.
Automatically. For what?
Your last mistake you're going to make. Do not move. You can see Washington's hands are outside the vehicle like the deputy had asked.
And what was your reaction when he was pointing the gun at you?
I didn't know he had a gun until he said, when I told him my seatbelt was on, and I said, because he was telling me to get out, and I said my seatbelt was on, and he said, well, get out. I have my gun. I'm not worried.
I ain't worried. I got my gun on. We're all good here. Step out. You can see the deputy take Washington's arm aggressively after he handcuffed her. She is 4 months pregnant.
I'm trying to tell you the only reason why I didn't stop. I'm a married, educated woman with a master's degree. I swear to God.
He has to say that she's married and educated. Why the fuck does it matter? She's human.
3 kids with me. I'm pregnant, and I did not want them to feel uncomfortable.
Just shut up about the lie.
Yes, sir.
Don't care about the why.
Oh, hell no. Oh,
Yep.
no. This is the shit I'm talking about. So the video that we showed last night, right? With Frank, that he filmed that cop spazzing out on everybody. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. These are the kind of racist Nazis, white supremacists that have infiltrated the police department. That you see them. When you see that aggression, he doesn't care who she is. He doesn't care that she's human. He doesn't care who the fuck she is.
Right. This is America.
He's trigger happy.
Mother. Yeah.
I'm an educated woman.
Absolutely. I feel like my personality, my persona, the way that I was, obliging.
She should have never had to say that.
Nope.
I wouldn't have to say that if I got pulled over.
Okay, that didn't get them. Maybe I need to say that. But at the same time, I'm like, why is that the case?
Washington was given a speeding ticket and apologized to the officer.
I just want to apologize again.
Apologize for yourself for not thinking.
Had I done
What?
anything
Why should she have to apologize?
asked me to do, that could have been an opportunity for him to pull the trigger.
Exactly.
So she thanked him for not shooting her.
Resigned from the Bradford County Sheriff's Office. The department
Resigned with a pension, probably.
Now, coming up on News 4 Jax at 11, hear from the daughter that was in the car at the time that this happened. I'm reporting live from the newsroom. Bree Isom, Channel 4.
Oh, wow.
We must stand up together, unify, and be the change. Demand change.
We must. That was heavy. And I know we threw a lot at y'all tonight. And I really appreciate everyone for sticking with us. I know that this is heavy stuff. If you get a chance, all the links are in the comments via Facebook and YouTube, the Leon Block Independent Media page. This is some heavy stuff, but tonight, as y'all can see,
we're talking about it.
ACAB all day, every day. Y'all see what this is. This is a constant. It's just that the mainstream media won't tell you about it. They won't show you. But as you can see, this is happening every single day, every single hour, every single minute.
Right in front of us. Are we paying attention?
Yo, Chaz is right. Charles Neal, you on point there. Seriously. Whew. And what Dave Moon TV said as well. This is something that's been there since the inception. These ain't nothing but slave catchers.
Right, 100%.
Yeah. So any last thoughts that you have, Meg, about any of the discussions and clips and videos and things that we talked about tonight?
So the one thing that I keep asking myself, which I know the answer to, but I think that would be really good for our audience to just know for themselves. If you're not aware up until this time of what the cops' main purpose and priority was back, whenever they were established back in the day, please do yourself a favor and look it up, because we are not bull crapping you. They were slave catchers for white people. And that's pretty much what they're doing these days as well. Like, this is disgusting. This is disheartening. It makes me sick to my stomach, but we have to talk about it. The uncomfortable conversations causes change, and I'm with it all day, every day.
Whew. Yo.
Thank you for this opportunity, Jontel, because we definitely have to, have these type of conversations to get voices heard and uplifted into what really needs to be done.
For real. I appreciate you, Meg. I appreciate you for being such a dope co-host and always coming out with the facts, the stories, the information. Yo, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you for holding down.
Yes, do the research.
Do the research. We all have to do our part to raise our elevate our collective consciousness and frequency. And to do that, we have to also educate ourselves. To do that, we also have to watch and learn and listen to these hard things and these hard topics. And sometimes it means facing our own prejudices that we all have.
Right.
Sometimes it means holding ourselves accountable. Even if it's ourselves.
Right. How would we feel if it was our kids, our mom, our fathers? Get out of here. I'd be so mad.
For real.
We burn the city down for real.
Yo, seriously. Just like the woman from the episode, the clip from the other night. was saying like Akron should have burned. Akron should have burned to the ground. And it definitely like
especially that they're still they're still doing it. You know, like this is how many months? Like this is 60.
But it's the co-opting. It's the co-opting and the fragments and the people against each other and the cliques and stuff like that. And all the backdoor deals and stuff that's going on that mainstream's not getting. And we can't, if we don't know that, how are we going to fucking help? The same thing happens time after time, and we can pinpoint that, right? But 100%. Money talks. Money talks where people can't walk.
Right.
Right. So just be vigilant, be mindful, and network. Care about your brethren, your sisters, do your part. Yo, for real, I'm with it.
Akron takeover. What?
Yes, the RCMP, which is the police here, were created to round up indigenous kids for residential school and to protect Klondike prospectors. Period. I couldn't agree with that more. I could not agree with that more. Like what African American slaves were to the U.S. and indigenous is exactly what indigenous were in Canada. And I couldn't agree with that more, brother. Yeah, I gotta have you on the show soon, so we definitely will touch base as well, because I feel like we'll have a lot to talk about. Everyone, it has been a pleasure. Me and Meg are going to get off of here, but you always can talk more about all of the stuff that we have shared with you tonight and on previous episodes. We still do have to give you clips from the panel discussion that we had the other night, because that was really deep and it was really special. So definitely tune into that. Megan, it's been a pleasure. Viewers, it's been a pleasure. Make sure you meditate on your path, celebrate your being, liberate your spirit, and educate yourself. I'm John Tell, and that's Meg.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.